Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got a game between roxkisLZ, who is the purple Zerg in the top position, well top right, and he is against BlastKrass in the bottom left. I just can't seem to get words out. I don't know what's up, but it is a ZvT and I'm just going to plow on because this is game 2 of a best of 3 and it's from the Zotac Cup. So it's pretty awesome. If you haven't watched game 1, go and check it out because otherwise spoiler alert incoming. Yeah, so pause, go watch game 1. Brilliant. Good people, you should have all gone now. So I can tell you that LZ did take game 1. It was looking a bit dodgy to start with. He was like, I'm taking loads of drone damage from Hellions and from Banshees, cloaked Banshees of that. But then he just stopped Krass getting up his third base so well. He was just pretty happy. And just kind of macroed up, took a 4th base, then a 5th base, got infestors, got muters out, got loads of banelings, got upgrades, and then just kind of went and rolled over Krass with those banelings because Krass saw him rolling and he was hating. But that's beside the point. This is game 2, everything to play for, and as I said, it's a best of 3. So if LZ wins this game, he will just advance, and if he loses this game, it will go into a game 3. So for that reason alone, I hope LZ loses, because 3 games is better than 2 games, especially when there's 2 cool players. Now, what is LZ going to do? Probably the same thing, get a 15 hatch, and then a 16 pool. What will Krass do? Well, this is easier to defend for Krass. It's just a nice position to defend. It's a narrow choke, it's on the ground, it's just better than Antigua Shipyard was for him. So he'll probably get out, probably go 1 Rax command center, I would imagine, although there are different options he could do. So wait and see. Anyway, roxkisLZ is happily taking his base at 15 as I thought. He'll now probably get a pool at 16, almost guaranteed. Look, the drone's even sitting there ready to do it. There we go. So everything went as planned on that side. Have I successfully predicted what Krass is going to do? We will see any second, but judging by the fact there's 300 minerals banked up and there is no gas, I would say yes, I'm going to be right any second. Just build it, and 3, 2, 1, bang, there we go. So everything is going pretty much the same as game 1 so far. Will LZ change his playstyle at all to deal with those early Hellions, which are almost guaranteed to turn up, or will he just drop a spine crawler, build an extra queen? Yeah, there's lots of different things he can do. Personally, on this map, I think you're fine dropping down a spine here, because this is a narrow choke. The spine can deal with most things with some queens. Get a bonus queen if you need to. It's good for when your 3rd comes out. Here comes down the gas for Krass, so we're almost certainly going to see Reactor Hellions out from him very shortly. So do not worry, roxkisLZ, you're going to be fine. Just make sure you don't lose loads of drones like you did last time, because actually it did turn out well for you. But it probably would have turned out better if you hadn't lost about 17 drones in the early game, but not to worry. This is, as I said, game 2. So the extractor going down gets cancelled though, so we're just doing a little bit of an extractor trick or something there. So Zerglings are coming out, they're being like, no SCV, you may not scout in my base. But what have we got going on? Still no factory. So what are you doing, Krass? Who knows? He's about to get his natural base up though, and that of course will put him on equal bases with LZ, which is exactly what he needs to do. That queen getting the inject off, and so is the other one, and that's why you go 15, 16 hatch pool, because then both queens pop at the same time, and you can very merrily go away and build and do double injects. Here we will see a reactor coming down, a factory in production, so Reactor Hellions will be out shortly, a bunker in a great position there, just defends everything, and these 2 Zerglings diligently poking and prodding their way around. 2 queens at the front just to be on the safe side, 2 more queens being built, so I actually like this from LZ. Having 2 dedicated creep spread and defense queens early on just means that you can hammer out drones after drones after drones after drones and still be safe, which is a really nice move. Spanishiwa was the first person to really start doing this sort of mass queen, mass drone type build, which is kind of caught on. Maybe not as extreme as Spanishiwa does, but it's still pretty good. We'll see LZ take, well, 3, 4 gas pretty soon. He's getting a macro hatch. The reason for that rather than a 3rd is just because it's a bit difficult taking a 3rd on this map because you're exposed, especially to Hellion play. All 4 gases are coming down here for LZ. Down at Krass's side, he is getting up a reactor, 2 on one of the barracks, getting another barracks, and a 3rd barracks. So 3 barracks, one of which with a tech lab, one with a reactor, the other one hasn't finished building yet. Reactor Hellions are on the way out as well. but they're not hitting for quite a while. And just look at this creep spread, it's incredible. It is just brilliant. This is why getting those extra queens really works well, because you can get fantastic creep spread while keeping your production amazing. So definite big up props to LZ here. I'm feeling it. I think he's doing well. If we take a look at the work account, that says he's doing well as well. 43 to 30, already 13 ahead. These Hellions are out on the field though, and this is the point where every Zerg player shudders a little bit. But these two queens blocking it off with those rocks there. But of course the downside is the Hellions can just come this way, which is like going the other way, but just easier. Great SimCity though. This spine is just going to completely wall off. You can sit a queen there and be fine. And these two Evos also have the added bonus of allowing him to get upgrades. And upgrades make you happy in the mid game. So here we go. Everything just pretty standard. There are 4 Hellions on the field. No more Hellions in production, which I think is a good move from Krass. Meanwhile, he's getting the tech lab up on that factory. He's got Stim on the way. So tank production is going to be started. They're just starting up now for LZ. If we take a look at his natural base, he's fully saturated pretty much of these two bases, getting 1-1 upgrades, he's getting speed, he's just in the money zone at the moment. Needs to be careful of these Hellions though, and the one thing they are doing is preventing this third base going down anytime soon. But look at this creep spread. I heard you like creep tumors, so I put creep tumors next to your creep tumors, and really that's a good move, because even with Hellions they just can't kill them fast enough. 3 do survive. Meanwhile, this overlord placement perfect. All Zerg players put on the high ground, then you can see everything. +1 infantry attack on its way out, and well, that's pretty much everything. Actually, siege mode hasn't been started as of yet, and of course this marine just sitting out there being like, guys, I don't like being alone, there could be Zerg. But no, here we go. These Hellions are coming forward, and they're going to try and deny this third base, but there's a spine there. The spine is moving forward. There's a lot of Zerglings, and the Zerglings, if they get a good surround, would be fantastic. They do manage to sneak past, but just great slip by with those Hellions. Good little bit of control there by Krass. Picks them off for nothing. And that is exactly what he needs to be doing. Meanwhile, he's got this macro hatch up, he's injecting everywhere, his lairs finished, he's getting his infestation pit. Now, that's actually coming out quite early, a lot earlier than game 1, and that really means infestors will be coming out super quick, which is brilliant because, well, infestors with fungal growth are fantastic against clumped up marines. They are just happy days, and it also means you can get hive tech, which can be ultras and broods, and also 3-3 upgrades, which are good. 3-3 upgrades and adrenal glands on Zerglings are just crazy bad. Crazy ban? That was kind of crazy man switch with crazy bad or something, who knows. But no Baning Nest yet for LZ. The Baning Nest would be the one addition I'd like to see, just because it's a very marine heavy, and those infestors aren't going to be out in time to deal with a push if it does come. Here comes pathogen glands, and this is actually a nice push time. It's slightly later than some. Most Terrans go for a kind of a 2-tank marine push if they're going to move out. 3-tank marines is just slightly stronger with the Hellions there as well. I like the way Krass didn't lose any Hellions. I think that was really good choice from him. The Hellions still achieved the slowing of that third base, but they also didn't die, so they can be utilised here. And especially when they just moved around, it's distracting LZ's attention a little. The +1 is finished, and third command center on the way. More barracks are in production, so is the armory. Some Zerglings were picked off there. Sorry I missed that, but it looks like LZ did try and go for it, and now because he went for it, this push is going to be a big problem. There are no banings, as I've pointed out already, and this third base is going to go down. There is no way at all LZ is going to defend this. He's got a scan scene and nothing there, and he's actually just going to skip that third base and go for the money shot. But we will see that Infestor gets a massive fungal growth off, and that does melt a massive ball of marines. And actually, there's still enough up there for Krass, but with only infestors, this could be a nightmare. A lot of infested Terrans thrown in. There's also some Zerglings coming around the back, but those tanks are now gone. And really, this could actually be cleaned up, and this is nice play by LZ. Those infestors really his saving grace. That big fungal growth did everything, but of course LZ has now lost his third base. Meanwhile, we will see here that Krass is taking his third base, which is nothing short of beautiful timing, but everything has been cleaned up now by Krass, so that's exactly what we need to do. He did manage to kill off one of those evolution chambers, so +2 armor is going to be slowed. There is a hive on the way though. It looks like there's going to be a Zergling run by, but there's a lot of marines there. That is not going to do anything at all, and this command center just seems to have got halted from going down just because of that patrolling Zergling, which is always a good move to make. It's really irritating. In come the Infestor train, and now with some good fungal growth, this could really clean up these marines, but there are tanks on the high ground, so this push is going to get forced away. Those Infestors are being pulled back, and that is the best thing LZ can do, is you do not want to be losing Infestors in the mid-game. Meanwhile, LZ, his approach is, let's just take a 4th base. You killed my third, so I will take 2. And he's also doing pretty nicely. His hive's about to finish up. He's got no sign of a spire though, so ultras are going to be his only option. Ultras, of course, fine when you've got infestors there, because the infestors fungal growth allowing the ultras to get close and nom their way through the Terran army. A lot of reason why people disliked ultras is because they are a bit slow and they can't really get into range to do the damage they need to. So Marines could just kite them essentially. Now this 4th base for LZ is going to get taken out because this little ball of Marines can just come forward and deal damage. And now if LZ pulls all of this stuff, then this little drop size push could do a lot of damage to the 3rd, and that is exactly what LZ is going to do. He's going to pull everything. It wasn't, I don't think that was cancelled actually. The drop was picked up, but meanwhile this 3rd base is now looking under threat, and LZ, you've really got to be in 2 places at once, otherwise you're going to have big problems. And now we'll probably see Krass just try and snipe this out. He's got a great position with those Marines between the minerals, just denying those Zerglings from getting a good surround. But here comes down a lot of infested turns just to try and deal with that medevac if they can, but no second fungal growth means the medevac will live to fight another day. There's the Ultralisk Cavern nearly finished up there for LZ behind all this. He's getting that +2 ground armor on its way, and there's a drop coming down to the natural, which has managed to pick off a couple of drones, not many though. The worker kill count is really low on both sides, but Krass, he's got Planetary Fortress here at his 3rd. It's mining happily, and he's been denying the mining of LZ for a long time. And essentially he's now on equal bases, which is exactly where he wants to be. Here comes the 3-3, +3 melee, adrenal glands, and also chitinous plating. Chitinous plating. That's what I'm going to go with. I usually just refer to it as the Ultra Armor upgrade because I cannot say that word. Now we will see a big scary looking post coming out from Krass. He is about 20 supply ahead, which is no laughing matter at all. And if those Ultralisks come in time, he should be fine. And what LZ really needs to do is, well, cancel that base and run away. That is really the best move he could have made there. Some Ultras have popped out somewhere, I think, or have they? No, not yet. They haven't actually been produced. I thought they were further along than that, but I guess I was wrong. And now, while he delays his Krass's advance, he should be fine. But this is another little reinforcing force coming in, which could meet in the middle, and that would not be fun. 5 Ultras now in production, so LZ clearly doesn't want any resources. He just wants to press that U button over and over. Money fungal growth though, and that is perfect. That cleans out a lot of Marines, but those Zerglings going straight for the tank line. Another huge fungal growth goes down on all of those Marines. There was massive damage, but a lot of Ultras were picked off there, as Infestors rather were picked off there, and that is going to cause problems because now the Ultras can get kited, which is never a fun move, and they're going to get kited straight into that tank line. You don't want to have 3 shots going off on the Ultralisks. They do have +4 armor because the Ultra Armor upgrade, and now we will see these Marines are just going to move forward and deal damage. Krass is getting very ahead in the supply count. A great pickup before those Ultras can get there, going straight to the main with that, and these Ultras so big and slow and cumbersome, they're not going to get there in time. And there's just 2 Queens Infestors being rallied forward, and of course these tanks still in position in a lovely spot. But here comes down the drop, and if that, well, he's just going to focus down Queens and drones, so damaging the later production of LZ, which is perfect. It's just doing definite damage as opposed to trying to get that. Meanwhile, we will see LZ picking up some tanks, but a great lift there by Krass. He's just playing on the money, although here comes the Infestors with the fungal growths, and the Marines are going to be tasty little snacks for the Ultralisks, who are all clumping around trying to fight over it. The spawning pool is going to go down for LZ, and those Marines have done nothing short but a lot of pain. And he's actually just going to come down here and use some great drop micro with those tanks. I say great as one dies, which he doesn't quite manage to pick up. They do manage to siege up on the high ground, and that is no well, laughing matter, because essentially they're now in a great position. They can just do more damage to LZ's production capabilities and income. Another Queen down, so really LZ is just off 1 injected hatchery and 3 non-injected hatcheries, trying to get a 4th, but Medevac will scout it there. Meanwhile, the 4th base up and running, and LZ well played and leaves the game. So that was game 2 there, and it does go to Krass. So that levels up the series 1-1, and we go into game 3 of this best of 3. So tune in if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and follow me on Twitter, subscribe, blah. But more importantly, come to game 3. Thank you very much, and see you in a sec.